piranha!
That can't be right. Oh, but what if they're real after all? No, that can't be. But what if there's a chance?
Greetings, miss. Is there something that's bothering you?
Oh, no, it's nothing. I'm Della Roche, the representative of the Fontaine Fishing Association. How can I help you? Oh, so you're adventurers. Oh, finally. Someone has heard my prayers.
Paimon could tell you were really bothered by something. Don't worry, you've got two super experienced adventurers right here. We'll take care of anything and everything for you as long as you pay us a little bit of mora.
Oh, you are exactly the helpers I need. See, the problem is that the fish around a fishing spot at Araneus have just all up and vanished recently. They disappeared too quickly for it to have been the work of human anglers. As the representative of the Fishing Association, I had planned to go and investigate the area right away. Right, but unfortunately, as the representative of the Fishing Association, there are a few other errands that I absolutely have to run, so...
So you'd like us to investigate the spot for you?
Exactly, you're right on the Mora, so I thought I could delegate this work to you. Are you two some kind of prophets, knowing exactly what I was going to say like that? Or maybe like the oracles you read about in fairy tales?
Yeah, we're just really experienced in this kind of thing, that's all.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'll get a good night's sleep knowing the two of you are on the case.
But don't we just need to investigate the missing fish? It really doesn't sound too difficult.
No, you mustn't let your guard down. As the representative of the Fishing Association, I have good reason to believe that the fish have gone missing due to an encounter with the water imps. Yes, you're both Outlanders, right? Our local fairy tales often speak of a terrifying underwater creature called Thelxie. The story our parents would tell us was always the same. If we went to the water alone, then we'd be snatched away and eaten by a water imp called Thelxie.
A child-eating water imp? Did they tell you what it looked like?
My father would always describe it as a beautiful, multicolored snake woman, while my mother said it had a handsome face. It's really strange, though, because you'd also hear other people describe it as just a chubby penguin with a deceptive appearance. Even though the tales vary regarding its appearance, everyone agrees that it's really dangerous. It lives in an underwater cave surrounded by pallid bones and uses its sensitive nose to track down lonely children who've lost their way. And once it finds a child, it uses its alluring singing voice to lure them into the water before swallowing them whole. Pretty terrifying, isn't it?
Sounds kinda scary. But isn't that pretty normal for a fairy tale? After all, those kinds of stories are usually made up to help keep children away from danger.
But what if the fairy tale was inspired by a real-life tale, just like how a water vein always has a source? Well, I wouldn't call it evidence per se, but I've heard some rumors lately. They say that someone recently saw a child walk into the water as if he was possessed by something. Doesn't that sound just like he was responding to the call of a water imp?
So you mean someone really got eaten by a water imp?
It's all hearsay, so it's hard to confirm. But still, they all say this happened on Araneus. That's no laughing matter if you ask me. Both the Opera House and the Fountain of Lucine were built there, and the sources of many water veins can be traced to the island as well. Combine that with the mysterious mist, the huge tree with expansive underground roots, and the rumor that the fish-eps on the island can understand human language. Is it really so shocking that an island so shrouded in mystery could harbor a terrifying water imp as well?
Why does Paimon feel like you're pulling our leg? You're just piling on the rumors now.
Oh, marvelous. Then I'll just mark the stretch of water on your map. Don't forget that no matter what, safety always comes first.
Surprise!
Is this the stretch of water Delaroche was talking about? It looks really peaceful. Huh? Look, there are some footprints over there. These look pretty fresh. Did the water imp get someone again? Let's look around and see if we can find anything else. Wait! Did you hear something just now? What is that? Don't come any closer!
Paimon? Traveler? I'm sorry. I forgot I was still wearing this.
Vermine!
Paimon, are you okay?
Paimon nearly mistook you for a water imp. Thank goodness it was just you wearing your helmet.
Huh? A water imp? Thelxie, you say? How surprising.
Huh? You know that name too? Or do you know someone else is trying to investigate the water imp?
No, I think our situations are probably unrelated. Sure, if that's in order. I know the name because of one of my employers. She noticed the clockwork penguins I brought to the workshop and contacted me through the shop's owner. She has commissioned me to make a special toy. Following her request, I've named the toy Thelxie.
Huh? But isn't it a little creepy to name a toy after a water imp? Wait, hold on! Vermine, you never take commissions from other people!
Yeah, but, she made a special request, but out of respect for her privacy, I can't really talk about it. It's alright though. She'll be coming over to check on my progress shortly, and I'll just tell her that you're two of my trustworthy companions. Hearing that, she might be willing to share some information, and you'll be able to continue with your investigation.
Huh. Even though you seem a little cold and reserved sometimes, you're still really considerate. Our target isn't necessarily the water imp, though. We're
The fish? I think I may have connected the dots. These past few weeks, I've been taking Thelxie for underwater testing every day. The pressure testing makes a lot of noise. So, all that about the disappearing fish? Well, it was probably because of me.
What? So that's all it was? That actually makes a lot of sense. Wait, so could that mean the child we heard about who walked into the water was also...
Yes, I think that's quite likely as well.
Whew. So in the end, it was just Vermine. Paimon spent all this time imagining what a water imp from the fairy tales might look like, and it all turns out to be just a hoax.
I'm sorry. It sounds like I've created a lot of trouble for everyone else as well. I'll try to finish this commission as soon as possible. Once I'm done, the fish should come back. Thank you.
Actually, how much work do you still have left, Vermine? Maybe we could lend you a hand.
Thanks for offering. But I can't trouble you any more than I already have.
Hey, it's no trouble at all. Didn't you just call us your trustworthy companions? Companions are all about helping each other, you know?
But don't you need to report back to your commissioner?
Nope, that's not how it works. See, Paimon's got these commissioner types all figured out, even though we were just tasked with finding out why the fish had gone missing. If we tell them now that it was all just a misunderstanding, you can bet they'd just immediately hand us another commission to help them get the fish back. Exactly! Exactly! So if we can help you finish up your work and get the fish back, that would save us an extra trip!
Is that what you'd like to do as well? Huh. Alright, I'll trust your judgment. Please follow me. I've made a makeshift camp over there. I've stored Thelxie in the tent. He can respond to some simple verbal commands. You can try calling his name and see if he'll come over.
Whoa, sounds pretty advanced. Let Paimon give it a try. Hey, Thelxie! Are you there? So that's Ferminae's version of Thelxie. It's also penguin-shaped, just like Pear.
Yep. Had Thelxie lived in Penguin Town, he'd probably have become great friends with Pear. It's not really anywhere famous or important. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Thelxie. Nice to meet you. Do you know how to say hello?
I wanted to install a language output module, but due to time constraints, I had to give up on the idea. As it stands, Thelxie can only output messages that were pre-written into its motherboard. I haven't given him the ability to convert those messages into discernible words, so he can't really talk to us just yet.
No need to get so technical. So basically, you want us to help you complete and install this language module, right?
No, there's no need. That wasn't one of my employer's requests. It was just something I wanted to try. I have two other things I'd like your help with. The first is to do some integration testing on Thelxie's motherboard, to make sure he will be able to function properly in most situations.
That doesn't sound too hard. And what's the other thing?
The other shouldn't take too long either. You'll need to find Thelxie some colorful shells and coral, so I can craft a weapon for him.
Excuse us. Is anyone here? Will Thelxie have to fight?
Who are you? I have a patient here who needs quiet
Thelxie will need to be able to charge forward with a weapon in hand, like that brave prince of legend. It's a part of my employer's request.
This is the residence of
What an
Surya
imaginative
Destri,
employer.
and I'm Jala Khan, her
Naming
family
Thelxie
doctor.
after a water imp?
What did you mean
Or
by your
wanting him to
question
look like
just
a
now?
prince?
Who else could...
Your
Well,
patient should be
regardless
Zuria's
of his
friend,
role
right?
or
She told us
species,
herself that her son had
Thelxie's
contracted
purpose is the
loneliness
same.
syndrome.
just like
No,
Pear.
you're right.
He has come
Young
to
Master
this world to
Lescaut
serve
did
as
have that
somebody's
illness
companion.
once upon a time, but he's... Well, the young master's no
Whoa,
longer with
Thelxie
us.
just said something again.
And now the Madame
Can
has
you
come down with the
understand
same
what we were
illness.
just talking about?
Are you...
He can
her
react
friends,
to
by
certain
any chance?
key words, but unfortunately, due to the lack of a translation module, he still can't quite
when she had
communicate
requested
with us.
time to go out over the
That's
past
a
few
pity.
days,
But anyway, the
was
most
so she
important
could
thing
spend
right
them
now
with
is
you.
for us to get to work.
So
Maybe
if
let's
I'm
start by
understanding
doing
this
some
right,
testing on
The one who's suffering from
motherboard.
uncontrollable
That sounds like
delusions is the
something we can
Madame
do here in the
herself?
camp.
Sounds good. Her son is still alive. The motherboard is on my workbench.
That is
so
correct.
Please follow me.
When the young master disappeared, she was organizing an art exhibit that she had specifically prepared for him.
Here we
since
go.
she had to leave the house,
I have this
she
testing
was
manual,
unable to see
so
her
feel
son
free to
one last
reference
time.
it if you get stuck.
That might have
Want
been the
to
trigger
give it
for
a
her
try?
regret.
It's
or
okay
perhaps
if you
the
don't
family's
succeed
fall
immediately.
into loneliness and
I've
grief
got a
was
lot of
inevitable
backup
as soon
boards
as
just
the
in
old master
case.
passed away.
Okay. Knowing
First the
you,
son,
I'm
and
sure
then the
you'll be
mother.
able to figure it out.
But how could that be? She really looked like she had a handle on everything. Her smile was so lovely, and she even told us to stay optimistic. But
Those actions are proof that she can no longer differentiate between fantasy and reality.
then, all the other things that she told us about her son, were those fake too?
No, those were all real. Although, they were all things that happened before the young master left us for good. Madame's time has just never moved forward since his passing.
I see. So after her son left, she created a fantasy world where her son was still with her. She was looking for a way to cure his illness when she ran into us.
She has been in a good
is
mood
ready.
the past few
Now it's time
days,
for a
even
short
humming a
rest.
song when she returned from her stroll. She even began discussing
You're
with me
doing
the
well.
idea of using deliberate
Just as I
guidance to
expected.
ease the illness.
We've taken
It was
on
all
a
going
lot
well
of similar tasks before, you know.
until last night.
Then let's move on to the
She spent
underwater
a whole
part.
night staring
It's
at the
just
shell
as I
the
mentioned
young master
earlier.
left behind,
We're after colorful
and the words
shells
that he had
and
inscribed
coral.
onto it.
Oh,
Then
speaking
she
of
broke
which,
down once
you're
more.
both already pretty
I
used to
prescribed some
Fontaine's
sedatives,
underwater
and
environment.
She's
right?
currently resting.
Okay, that's good.
What should we do?
Just
How
let
can we
me know
help
if
her?
you
There
ever
has to
feel
be something
uncomfortable.
we can do.
I'll make sure to stay right by your side. Don't panic, Paimon. Even though this is a devastating piece of news, we must all calm down first. What should we do? I need to think. I need to remember the old house of the hearth and the children who lived in it. Those patients and what their doctors said back then. What if... Dr. Jalacan, have you seen a picture book? The Madame should have brought it back with her.
Are you thinking about trying the guidance therapy she talked to me about before? It's worth a shot. I'll go get the
It
book.
should be right over there. We'll be able to find something that'll help us with our search. This is it. We call this thing an echo. That's right. If it can detect special reflection waves in the wall. The past few days have been very helpful to interesting places, so we should go in conscious have detected some just now. We need to show her that our child has found a happy ending in the world of her dreams.
But wouldn't that just make it harder for her to accept reality?
One must first face reality before accepting it. The Madame has been crushed by her feelings of grief and can no longer bring herself to face reality. Our first priority would be to get her out of this state.
All right. These should be enough. Before today, let's head back to camp. She wanted to use Thelxie's fantastic adventures to save her son. But now, I think she might need it to save herself. And if we could complete it, we should be able to give her some feeling of inspiration and closure. Maybe those feelings would be enough to give her some courage to face reality again. There's no time to waste. Let's set off right away.
Femine, you're back. I thought you might have been out diving.
I'm sorry, Madame d'Estray. I must have kept you waiting. I can report, though, that the construction of Thelxie is going quite smoothly.
There's no rush.
You're here again.
I'm your employer,
This
not
is the
your
final
supervisor.
part of Thelxie's journey,
And
but
these two are...
the most important person is missing.
Oh, they're two of my trustworthy companions.
Please don't be so
They're
down
here
and
to help me
gloomy.
work on Thelxie.
Remember what she told
Yes, I
us?
see.
If we were to
I
feel
suppose
troubled,
it's only
the
natural for
patient would
someone
become anxious
responsible
as
like
well.
you to have some reliable friends.
You're right. It's really nice to meet you, Madam Destray. If we have to give something to Zuria, it's Simon. This is the traveler. Keep smiling as
Greetings,
we finish
my new
this
friends.
adventure.
Just call me
And then
Zuria.
she'll be able to recover,
You are both
right, everyone?
so adorable. The sight of you
Yeah,
reminds me of little
I'm sure
fairies
she
under
will.
a cottage roof.
Oh, do you really think so? Be careful, brave adventurers. Here comes the evil
My child had
monster
friends
that
like
stole
you,
the crown.
and perhaps he wouldn't have become so obsessed with the tales of water. And I wouldn't have had the trouble friendly here with this commission.
Obsessed with the tales of water?
So you don't
Watch
know
out,
anything
everyone!
about my
They're coming at us
request
again!
yet? I would have thought Friendly had explained it to you already.
Stronger than my brother told us that it was private matters. We didn't want to just share it willy-nilly.
I see. So Monsieur Friendly is even more discreet than I thought.
begin! Shadow Raven!
As you are assisting him with the project, I believe it will be beneficial for you to learn more about its vision and history. But it would be quite impolite of me to simply pile all of my troubles on you without your permission. So, would you like to listen to my story?
Cleanup! Get in gear! Hey! Get in gear!
You've already said nice things about us, so we'll try our best to help you get through your
Leave it all to me.
Scatter! Germinate!
Step on up!
Let me think of a way to put my situation into words.
Midnight Phantasmical!
I'm sure you're already familiar with the tale of the water nymphs, right? Simply, parents came up with a story, painting water imps as scary abductors in an effort to convince their children to stay away from the water.
Infatuated? With a water imp? What?
Yes. He told me that he thought the water imp might have just been misunderstood.
I'm sorry. I
In
have to
his
go.
mind,
I made
instead
a
of
promise
singing
to my friends,
abduct
and I'm
children,
already very late.
The water imp actually sang out of a longing for
But Madame,
companionship.
you're still...
As a result, he often
Don't
goes
try to
near the
stop me.
water in secret.
Today's the most important day for treating
So he
Thelxie.
wanted to become friends
We'll
with
use
the
the
water imp
guidance
so it
method.
wouldn't be lonely any longer?
Didn't you also say that you think
What a
it'd
unique way
work?
of thinking.
I'm not trying to stop you,
Thank you,
Madame.
little
It's
Paimon.
just...
He indeed has always stood out from the crowd.
Could you tell me the name
He
of your
was
child?
actually diagnosed with loneliness syndrome when he was only 8 years
How
old.
can you forget the name of your own patient? His
It's a
name
type of
is
mental
Thelxie.
disorder.
He's the prince of the
Those
kingdom of
affected
water
by
imps.
it often feel
We
extremely
will go today to
lonely
reclaim
and
his
lose
crown
interest in
and
many
attend his
mundane
coronation
activities.
ceremony.
The syndrome
see.
is probably what made him so determined to
Madame,
become friends with the water imp.
Please rest assured, everything is still on schedule.
it
Your
a very serious
friends have
disorder?
already departed to find...
If
Wait,
you were to become
look,
afflicted with the disorder,
they've already
Paimon,
returned.
you would only be able to say less than a fraction of the words you're saying to the traveler now.
No!
Paimon,
said that.
everyone,
We would have to find a
have you
doctor to help
really?
cure Paimon. Paimon has a
Yes,
2,000-word
but
quota
the
for daily
coronation
conversations
ceremony
with the
still
traveler.
hasn't
She won't
taken
set up
place.
for a single word for us.
Because we felt like you should be the one to
The
preside over
family
it.
doctor has already begun to
Wonderful.
treat my
How
son.
wonderful!
But since the disorder is rare,
My child,
there aren't
my
many good
child, are you
regimens for
hearing
treatment.
this? Everything
He's
you
also
lost will
developed
now
some
come
new
back to
symptoms
you,
lately,
and soon,
such
very
as
soon, you will
uncontrollable
never be
delusions.
lonely again.
Huh? Uncontrollable what now?
Uncontrollable
last page of the picture book.
delusions.
To
It's still
put it
waiting for you
simply,
to illustrate
he
and
can
can
color.
no longer differentiate between
Right.
fantasy
The picture
and
book.
reality.
The picture book.
And spends all
But
his
I don't know
time
what I
in
should
his
put on the
fantasy
last
world.
page.
Then what is he seeing in his fantasy world? Know what she got.
It's a dream that he
Get ready,
often
Zuria.
mentioned to me
We'll
when he
describe
was younger.
everything for you.
I've compiled what I could
okay.
understand of his recent rambling. It goes a bit like this.
Thelxie and his friends were able to drive off the final invading monsters and achieve a dashing victory. Their success was complete, and the
The
recovery...
water imps, finally returning to their homes, showered the prince with love and applause as he greeted them. They once again offered their precious shells to the
came up
prince
with all of
and
this?
reconstructed the
He really
rainbow bridge
crafted
of
a
old.
lovely fairy tale world
As he
for
watched the
Thelxie.
scene unfold,
It's like
the prince
a
could not
beautiful
help but be
dream.
touched by its beauty.
But perhaps no beautiful dream can ever last
Moved by
long.
everyone's happiness,
You see,
the prince
the
stepped
story
onto the
ended
rainbow
with a
bridge
twist.
and took a good look at all the friends who had gone on the journey with him. There stood the traveler, Goddess Paimon, Fremine, and... Huh? Where's the last person? How could the story end like frantically around, but could not find the person he wanted to see most. Son to develop his loneliness syndrome? The person suddenly appeared on the
it'd
other
be
side
more
of the
accurate
bridge.
to say that it
She
was the
walked towards
syndrome
him
that caused
with a
such terrible
smile
delusions to
and
manifest.
slowly lifted her veil.
But in any case,
The prince could not
the
hold
biggest
back his
problem
tears.
is the patient eventually
He
loses
recognized then
themselves
that the
to fantasy
mysterious
world of
person
their
that
own
had been by
creation.
his
side the whole time
My poor
was none
child can no
other
longer
than his
differentiate
mother.
between imagination and
Surya
reality.
walked across the bridge and placed
He's
the
begun
crown
to see
above the
himself
prince's
as
head.
Thelxie.
She smiled down upon
perhaps
him
in
as she
his
said,
mind,
the loneliness
"My
he felt
prince,
became the
my
same
king,
as that of a prince
you shall
who
never,
lost everything
ever
he ever loved.
need to feel
or
lonely
What?
again.
So that's the end of the story, uncontrollable delusions. Then we have to help him
Thank
snap
you.
out of it.
Thank you all.
Alas, most of the time he acts as if he
I
can
am
no
so
longer
sorry,
sense
my
or
child.
interact with the real world at all.
Maman should have spent more
I've
time
had several
with you.
discussions with the doctor.
Did
and
you
we
hear
think
the story?
it is best to try to guide his
You'll
fantasy.
never have to feel lonely
He
again.
once wanted to make a picture book of his imaginary world. But since the disorder progressed too quickly, he never quite got past the first page of the book.
Maman loves
If we
you
could
too.
use this book as a breakthrough for his condition.
What's happening?
Here, you can take a
Is
look.
Surya talking to Thelxie? Ah!
Quick,
So Zuria's
put
son
on my
also
diving
saw
helmet.
Thelxie as a penguin.
There's a transcription module in it that's
he looks so
compatible with
sad.
Thelxie's output signals.
What we should do now is help
you
him
should
complete
be able to
this
use
picture
it to
book.
understand what Thelxie's saying.
However, we'll lead the story to a different ending. One where the water imp prince is eventually able to restore his kingdom with the help of his friends. We'll need to chase away his loneliness and sorrow, and let him perceive a world full of hope
Maman-
again. That's
Maman
what I
loves
mean
you
by
too.
guiding his fantasy.
But if we just need to finish the picture book, why does Fremine
But
need
I
to
love
make a
you
Thelxie
more,
as
Mama.
well?
Because we need to treat the book's story seriously.
Did you
as
see
if it's
something?
a history of things that have really happened.
Maman,
We'll need to go on a
getting a
journey
little
like
sleepy.
Thelxie and help him regain
If
his
it's
crown
time to
and
bed,
country.
can you
But
hum a lullaby
My child
to me
can no
again?
longer go on a journey of his own.
course, my dearest child.
This is why I commissioned Fremine here to craft
As long
a
as you
Thelxie.
want to hear
And
it,
then I'll paint the journey with this
Maman
Thelxie
will
into the
always
picture
hum
book.
for you.
Ah, like a stand-in for your son. Paimon's starting to get it now. Oh, you really put a lot of thought into this, Surya. Paimon still has one question, though. Where will we be able to find a water imp kingdom?
Thank you,
There are
Maman.
some ruins on the seabed of the
Lullaby
Salacia
has
Plains.
always been my favorite.
I've already asked Fremine to research
Now
them for
that
me.
I've heard it,
We'll be able to use
I
one of the
can
ruins
return
as the
to my
kingdom.
dream.
Oh,
And to
so
the
we'll just
kingdom
need to
of
act
water
out a performance
imps
of,
in peace.
a brave journey through the kingdom of water
My
imps.
poor
As
darling.
long as we chase away the monsters in the ruins, it'll count as
Please
chasing away
don't
the monsters
forget.
in the water imp kingdom, right?
I will always
Sadly,
love
no.
you.
We won't just be
My
putting on a
love
performance. It's just as Zuria said.
Greater
We
than the
need to take
entire
this seriously.
distance
And the
between-
only way we can take
Forget,
this
Mama.
seriously is if we choose
So
to
is
believe
my love
everything
for
that's
you.
happening is real.
Greater than the entire distance
So
between
we'll be
here
playing it straight,
and the
or,
kingdom of water imps.
making it a fully immersive experience? Oh, neither of those really sound right. Well, either way, we'll still be able to help, right?
It's all right. There's no need to get that serious. It's not a big deal. I believe in my son. We can just see this as him wanting to stay asleep for a bit longer, because he's so enamored with his dream.
Zuria.
Keep your
Traveler,
spirits up, everyone.
Paimon,
If
you're
we were to
here.
look troubled, my son is sure to become
Fremine,
anxious as well.
Why did you call us in such a hurry? Did you hear
I should be
something
heading
from
back
Zuria?
right about now to check on my
Oh,
son.
if it's not good news, Paimon doesn't want
We
to hear
temporarily
it.
moved to a place on the hill over there.
Don't worry.
So my son
It's
will have a better
definitely
spot to
great news.
convalesce.
The Madame
It's not
came
far
here
from
for
the
a
water,
visit
and
just
there's
now
also
with
a
her
great
doctor.
view.
Color has
Feel free to
returned
come
to her
find me if
cheeks,
anything urgent
and she
comes up.
sounded full of energy as well.
Understood. There's also
She
one
said
last
she'd
thing.
like to return to the court
Since
to
these
continue
two
hosting
friends
the
were
art
able to
exhibit.
help me out,
But this
I've
time,
made some more
she'll work
progress
with
on
her
Thelxie.
doctor to exhibit some
I
picture books
estimate
related
that he
to
should
the
be ready
illness.
sometime tomorrow.
That's great
Of course,
news. I must
Thelxie's
thank you all.
fantastic adventures and the guidance
With
therapy
that
will
in
be
mind,
included in the
how about we
exhibit
meet
as
here
well.
in 2 days' time to head
She'd
to the
like to
Kingdom
use
of
her
Water Imps?
experience to help others.
All right, everyone. Let's meet again in another 2 days.
Bad news after all.
Mm-hmm.
Zuria sure is a
Here,
brave and optimistic
Please
lady.
take this picture book with you.
Feminine, do you think her
The
plan will
Madame
work
wanted
out?
you to have it. If at some point in the future you were to
let's
run into
discuss that
someone
over
with
by the
similar
tent.
troubles, she
There
hopes the
were a
book would
few
be of
things
use
that
to
I
you.
didn't bring up because the Madame was
But
here.
this is her son's story, right? Is it really okay to give the book to us?
Don't worry, it's just a copy. She still has the original. It's extremely important to her.
Alright, then there's no problem. What did you want to say? Good knowing we've contributed to something important. Paimon definitely
If you
didn't
don't mind
expect
me
the
asking,
fantasy adventure to be so
I would like the
useful.
two of you to mentally
Paimon was a
prepare
little worried about
yourselves.
how everything would turn out. After
This
all,
is the first time
fantasy
that you've
is
met
just
anyone with the
fantasy.
syndrome, right? Paimon, do you know what the
I know
Madame
you
said?
two are both really strong.
She said
and will do everything you can
that
to
at
help
the
the
moment
child.
when she placed the crown on
But with the
Thelxie's head,
syndrome being the way it
she
is,
felt like she really
if
saw something
things
beautiful.
if
Her
things
child
don't
had
quite
returned,
turn out as we
and he
wish,
told her that he loved
I
her.
hope you'll be able to accept the outcome.
She also said
and
that
not
was when
put
she
too
was
much blame on
finally able
yourselves.
to bid farewell to her son.
Femine, why do you bring this
She
up all of
felt
a
like
sudden?
at that
Didn't
moment,
we just promise
she was
Zuria that
healed
we'll
by
be
some
optimistic
mystical
about everything
power.
working out?
and she was filled
It's
with
not
courage
that I'm
from
not
head to toe.
optimistic.
Oh,
It's just...
really? But could that just be another part of her fantasy? Like you knew exactly what she was talking
Perhaps.
about.
But
Wait,
if fantasy
Fermine, don't
is
tell
just
Paimon
fantasy,
that you also...
and the fantasy world is
no.
not real,
Please
then
don't
how could it still
misunderstand.
grant us these
I've
powers
never
that we
had
can
it.
continue to use
I've
in the
just-
real world?
I've just seen many cases of it at the House of the Hearth. Back
A
when we
descent
lived under
of
the
the fairy
previous
tale
director.
world into the real world.
They say there are many
At that
factors
time,
surrounding the
the
development of this
wondrous
illness.
fairy tale temporarily
I've heard
became
everything
reality
from hereditary
and
factors
influenced
and one
real
state of
things in
mind
our world.
to environmental factors
That has
and
to be
even
what
ley line
happened.
disorder effects.
You saw it too.
Some even say it
Didn't
could
you?
be caused by contamination from god remains.
That can't be what happened,
And
right?
from the cases
There's
I've
just
seen,
no way.
there weren't
Wouldn't
many
it be
positive
like
outcomes.
a miracle if that really
In
happened?
the worst cases,
Yes,
the patient
I
could
suppose
even...
that would be a miracle.
What?
I hope that
Is
everyone
that
who's found
serious?
themselves in a dark
And
place
my plan thought
would
they'd
be
just
able to
stop
see
touching as
something
much.
beautiful and experience a miracle
Yeah,
for themselves.
that's just the nature of it. So if you'll find it difficult to cope with the worst case scenario, I would prefer that you back out right now. I don't want you to help only to feel like you failed.
Yeah, that's right. Paimon's seen all of those things too. No matter how hard it might get, we won't be scared.
Really? Then in that case, let's see this real-life fantasy adventure together to the end.
Yeah! But Paimon has a question. If this illness can really be as bad as you've described, then do you really think Zuria's method will be able to help? After all, we'll just be using a toy as Thelxie and some ruins as the Kingdom of Water Imps. The whole adventure will only be turned into a picture book for her son to read.
Well, I think it should be able to do something. To harbor a fantasy means that the child wants to save himself somehow. The only reason he's allowed his dream kingdom to fall is because he's lost control of his heart. But if we can help him regain control and escape from the darkness, we'll be able to change his world. Like helping someone who's lost their voice be able to speak again.
Oh, Paimon sees what you're saying now. Huh. How do you understand all of this so well, Fremine?
Well, maybe because I've also had many of my own dreams in the past. I even had my own fairy tale world, much like that boy's. I was able to draw a lot of support from it. So I believe in the power of fantasy worlds. So you remembered.
What Penguin Town? Why doesn't Paimon remember? Is that also a fairy tale world? Don't leave Paimon in the dark! Hey, why did you put that on?
It's just one of my personal quirks. Please pay it no mind. Anyway, Penguin Town is a peaceful place with lots of penguin residents. They're all really good at making clockwork toys. And Pear is the town's triumphant hero, as well as the one who quietly protects the whole place.
Pear? But didn't you make Pear yourself?
Well, I often think that Pear only came to me because he realized how much I needed him. So it's not so much that I made Pear, as Pear chose me as his friend.
Fremine, are you sure you're not losing control of your fantasies as well?
No, I don't think so. I can still differentiate between fantasy and reality. I just believe that the fairy tale world of my dreams must also exist somewhere. It might just be hidden, which is why it's difficult to see.
Specific times? Like when you put on your diving helmet?
Yeah, that's the general idea of it.
Really? Paimon just said that because you put on your helmet.
Have you ever observed the surface world from underwater? It's as if you're viewing a whole different world from the outside. It's a very surreal feeling. Both alienating, but also as if you're being protected by something. I have a similar feeling when I put on my diving helmet. In those moments, it's possible to see some truly wondrous things, as if a fairy tale has become reality. It's almost like a sort of miracle.
Really? Like a miracle?
Well, if that's in order.
Hey, now's not the time! Fremine still has Thelxie's weapon to make. We don't want to bother him now.
Right. I still have to collect some tools I'll need to craft the weapon. I've got to finish everything before tomorrow. Thank you for reminding me, Paimon. I'm sure there'll be other opportunities for you to try my helmet. Thanks for all of your help. I'll be off for now. Let's meet up here again in 2 days.
Is your child feeling any better?
Thank you for your concern, Fremine. His condition is fairly stable. The family doctor said we might be able to take him out for a stroll today.
Zuria, Fremine, we're here!
Seems like everyone's arrived now.
Not quite. Aren't we missing someone? But Paimon has a guess where he might be. Hey, Thelxie! Whoa! Thelxie's got himself a sword and a shield now! He's looking sharp!
Indeed. With his weapons in hand, Thelxie looks more formidable than ever. You've really outdone yourself, Fremine.
We helped too!
Yes, you really had a good eye for materials. Everything you found was high quality. Speaking of which, Zuria just told me that she wants to end the adventure with a coronation ceremony.
So, you can just keep an eye out for them on our way to the ruins. I was planning to collect the materials myself, but then I realized you might be able to find some prettier ones than what I could get my hands on.
Seems like everything's ready to go. Shall we head out?
Please wait a moment. I was just thinking. Since Thelxie has already shown us his brand new appearance, we may already be able to draw a new page in the picture book. What do you think?
Ooh, Paimon's excited now.
Why don't we use the story we know as a reference? Just make the atmosphere a bit less grim.
So we'll take out the sad parts and replace them with happier stuff? Sounds great to Paimon.
All right, I'll give it a try. I'm not very adept at drawing, but I've seen a lot of art during my work.
Let me think. We can draw the weapon. The prince has picked up the Sword of Courage and the Shield of Perseverance, which proves he has crossed the mire of doubt, and now is ready to wage war against the darkness.
Okay, I'll add the weapons. Anything else?
Paimon wants to give him some friends. Thelxie's got some friends by his side now, so he's no longer fighting alone.
Okay, I'll also draw some companions. Anything else? Color. Ah, color, yes! That's really important. The road in front of him now will no longer be just grayscale, but bursting with color and hope. Who would have thought the page could have become so inspiring? How wonderful! Splendid ideas, everyone!
Great! Everyone looks super pumped up. Thelxie most of all.
Are you seeing this, my son? Are you feeling inspired by this as well?
I'm sure he is, Zuria. And this is still just the first page.
That's right! Paimon can't wait to see the picture book when it's all finished. We should finish it as soon as possible and keep up the belief and hope in our hearts.
Mm-hmm. I'm starting to look forward to it as well. So let's get the show on the road and head towards the Kingdom of Water Imps.
Yay! Thelxie's fantastic adventures begin now! Materials that we can use for the crown, right? Let's get some for Fremine.
These should be enough. I knew you'd have a knack for finding the best materials. We shouldn't need...
Whoa! Is that the entrance to the underwater ruins ahead? So these are the underwater ruins that Fremine found. They're pretty amazing, but still not exactly the kind that Paimon was imagining. Oh, yeah, Paimon knows. It's just... Paimon thought we'd actually see a fairy tale world. like with the water imp's colorful houses and the rainbow bridge.
I'm sorry. I was hoping to put up some decorations, but ran out of time to do it by myself.
Whoa, someone's already switched into fantasy mode.
Seems like the travelers already got the gist of things. You should do your best too, Paimon.
Don't underestimate Paimon. Paimon can flip the switch too. Now entering Paimon Fantasy Mode! Ahem. Young adventurers, 'tis Paimon, guardian goddess of this land. State your goals and intentions for visiting this nation.
We are the companions of Prince Thelxie, your Divine Highness. We have come to help him reclaim the glory that he has lost.
Oh, reclaiming your glory? Thy goddess here has golden glory, silver glory, and bronze glory. Which is it that the prince has lost?
Huh?
Not at all! This is the goddess's test! Ahem. From your responses, the goddess has concluded that you're all brave adventurers without the taint of greed in your hearts. As such, you are worthy of everyone's respect. So please accept the goddess's reward. The goddess will now bestow all 3 types of glory upon you. And as for this prince, the goddess will also bestow upon you the rainbow glory, so your future will always be filled with light.
My gratitude to your Divine Highness for such generous blessings. Power is now surging through every part of my body.
Me too. Is this the divine inspiration of legend?
Ahem. Now, adventurers, forge bravely ahead and defeat the monsters that have taken over the kingdom. You... Please be careful, brave adventurers. Just ahead are some evil enemies that have invaded the kingdom of water imps. They're called... Hilly Churls of the Deep. Surprise! Be amazed!
Those accursed enemies are back again. Your Highness, please show them what you're made of.
Frost is coming! Get in gear! Prepare! Propagate! So! Frost is coming! Prepare!
We're under attack again. It's a Lawitcher of the deep.
There's no need to fear, my friends. His Highness is so strong now that even a Diviniture of the deep would pose no threat to him.
As a good knight should. I must leave no stone unturned.
Frost is coming! Get in gear!
It's finally over. So have we defeated the evil monsters and reclaimed the kingdom of water imps?
Yes, it should now be time for us to attend Thelxie's coronation ceremony. The only thing is, I didn't expect this to go so smoothly. I thought it would have taken longer for us to reach the heart of the ruins. It was my mistake. I should have told Fremine earlier that we would also need a crown.
It's all because the Traveler and Goddess Paimon were too strong! We just eradicated all the monsters in one go!
It's okay, Zuria. We can come back again once I've made the crown.
Then I must thank all of you again for taking the time, and you too, Thelxie, my child.
Thelxie's turning out to be a real expert at fighting!
I don't think there's anything that will be able to stop him. He's like a true prince now.
Yes, I agree as well.
Let's head back to camp for now. I asked the traveler to search for some materials on the...
We can add an update to Thelxie's fantastic adventures as well. Now that we've reclaimed the Kingdom of Water Imps, it's time for us to draw some new scenes in the picture book. Zuria and Fremine, why don't we draw the new pages first? Paimon really wants to update the picture book. Hey, you didn't have to say it out loud.
No problem. I'm happy to oblige. Then in that case, the story today should go something like this. After overcoming many obstacles, Prince Thelxie and his brave companions finally arrived at the entrance to the Kingdom of Water Imps. At this time, the little fairy in the group, Paimon, revealed her true goddess form to her companions.
Woohoo! The goddess has arrived! She praised the companions for their purity, and to reward them, she bestowed upon them many blessings, and even prayed that the prince would be able to fulfill his goal.
Bathed under the goddess's glory, the prince and his companions charged into the bastion of evil, chased away the monsters, and rescued the pretty water imps from their imprisonment. The prince finally managed to reclaim his kingdom. But as for the crown...
Oh no! The crown isn't ready yet!
No. The crown was within the prince's reach, but the monsters took it with them as they fled. They haven't given up and are sure to return, but the prince is certain to reclaim the crown the next time they fight. The brilliant rainbow shall descend onto the kingdom once more.
Oh, and Paimon can almost see it all happening now! Whoa! The pages are beautiful! Zuria is really talented at drawing.
Thank you, everyone. We've also completed the second page of the picture book now. Thelxie's journey is one step closer to its end, and the promised coronation. My child, you'll also be able to brighten up when that time comes, right?
I'm sure he will, Zuria. Who knows? Perhaps the doctor will already have some good news for you when you get back home today.
I sure hope so, Your Divine Highness. Oh, Fremine, about the time you'll need for the crown.
Please don't worry. One day should be more than enough.
Ah, then I must thank you for your hard work. All right, let's rendezvous here in another 2 days' time for our final adventure, okay? And see you in 2 days, my lovely friends.
Alright, it's about time we start heading off too. You've still got some work to do, right, Fremine?
Yeah. I'll need to go to the city shortly to get some parts for the base of the crown. I want to try out a few different designs and choose the one that looks the best.
Yeah, Paimon knew that you didn't often take commissions from others, but Paimon had no idea you'd be so dedicated once you're on the job.
Well, about that...
Because what?
It's because... I hope...
What's the matter? And what's with that look on your face? You're turning red, and it looks like you're about to run away and put your helmet on again.
Am I turning red?
All right. We won't bother you anymore for today, Fremine.
Okay, thank you. See you in 2 days. I hope that everyone who's found themselves in a dark place would be able to see something beautiful and experience a miracle for themselves. Paimon. Hello, traveler.
Is the crown ready?
Yes, we're just waiting for Zuria now. She hasn't arrived yet.
Then let's wait for her a little while. Or actually, maybe we can go find her. It's not too far from here anyway. Didn't she say she just lives on the hill over there?
Hey, traveler, Paimon.
Oh, and speaking of...
Found you two at long last. I'm so glad that you both are all right.
Huh? Why are you here, Miss Delaroche? And what could have happened to us?
What could have happened? That water imp Thelxie, of course. After I gave you that commission the other day, I began to get worried and went asking about the boy that went missing.
Oh, that? We've got it all figured out now. The boy you heard about was just Fremine. Even the missing fish was his fault. Don't worry, we'll help you get the fish back as soon as we're done with this job.
Oh, sorry about that. I've been diving in the area recently.
Huh? What, Fremine? Diving? No, that's not what happened at all. I've heard a completely different account. What I was told is that about a month ago, a child tied a bunch of heavy seashells onto his body and walked into this open stretch of water. He never came back. What could that be if not that water imp's work?
Are you sure?
100% sure. I've confirmed the account with several veteran fishermen I know. The child was only 8 years old. His name was Lescaut. Lescaut d'Estray.
Wait, Lescaut d'Estray?
Yeah, that's the name. They say the family took on the name after moving to the city from a place called Stray. Anyway, his mother is a pretty famous art dealer, while his father passed away from an accident many years ago. Well, naturally, his mother was devastated by the incident and fell terribly ill. It's said that she left the court of Fontaine, and no one knows where she's gone.
It can't be, right? Lescaut d'Estray? Zuria d'Estray? It must be some sort of a coincidence?
I'm sorry, miss. We've got to go check on something right now.
Oh, I see. Well, you go on ahead. I just came to make sure that you're both all right. I'll head back then. Please remember to take care.
Excuse us. Is anyone here? Is this
Who are you? I have a patient here who needs quiet bed rest. Please leave us be unless you have anything urgent to report.
This is the residence of Zuria d'Estray, and I'm Jala Khan, her family doctor. What did you mean by your question just now? Who else could...
Your patient should be Zuria's son, right? She told us herself that her son had contracted loneliness syndrome.
No, you're right. Young Master Lescaut did have that illness once upon a time, but he's... Well, the young master's no longer with us. And now the Madame has come down with the same illness. Are you her friends, by any chance? Oh. So, when she had requested time to go out over the past few days, it was so she could spend them with you.
So, if I'm understanding this right, the one who's suffering from uncontrollable delusions is the Madame herself? She believes her son is still alive?
That is correct. When the young master disappeared, she was organizing an art exhibit that she had specifically prepared for him. But since she had to leave the house, she was unable to see her son one last time. That might have been the trigger for her regret. Or perhaps the family's fall into loneliness and grief was inevitable as soon as the old master passed away. First the son, and then the mother.
But how could that be? She really looked like she had a handle on everything. Her smile was so lovely, and she even told us to stay optimistic. But
Those actions are proof that she can no longer differentiate between fantasy and reality.
then, all the other things that she told us about her son, were those fake too?
No, those were all real. Although, they were all things that happened before the young master left us for good. Madame's time has just never moved forward since his passing.
I see. So after her son left, she created a fantasy world where her son was still with her. She was looking for a way to cure his illness when she ran into us.
She has been in a good mood the past few days, even humming a song when she returned from her stroll. She even began discussing with me the idea of using deliberate guidance to ease the illness. It was all going well, until last night. She spent a whole night staring at the shell the young master left behind, and the words that he had inscribed onto it. Then she broke down once more. I prescribed some sedatives, and she's currently resting.
But then what should we do? How can we help her? There has to be something we can do.
Don't panic, Paimon. Even though this is a devastating piece of news, we must all calm down first. What should we do? I need to think. I need to remember the old house of the hearth, and the children who lived in it. Those patients, and what their doctors said back then. What if... Dr. Jalacan, have you seen a picture book? The Madame should have brought it back with her.
Are you thinking about trying the guidance therapy she talked to me about before? It's worth a shot. I'll go get the book.
Yes, this is it. That's right. If what Dr. Jalacan said was true, the past few days have been very helpful to Zuria, so we should complete this journey. We need to show her that her child has found a happy ending in the world of her dreams.
But wouldn't that just make it harder for her to accept reality?
One must first face reality before accepting it. The Madame has been crushed by her feelings of grief and can no longer bring herself to face reality. Our first priority would be to get her out of this state.
Right. Before today, I had thought she wanted to use Thelxie's fantastic adventures to save her son. But now, I think she might need it to save herself. And if we could complete it, we should be able to give her some feeling of inspiration and closure. Maybe those feelings would be enough to give her some courage to face reality again. There's no time to waste. Let's set off right away.
We're here again. This is the final part of Thelxie's journey, but the most important person is missing.
Everyone, please don't be so down and gloomy. Remember what she told us? If we were to feel troubled, the patient would become anxious as well.
You're right. Paimon needs to smile. If we have to give something to Zuria, it should be our smiles. We have to keep smiling as we finish this adventure. And then she'll be able to recover, right everyone?
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
Be careful, brave adventurers! Here come the evil monsters that stole the crown! They're... the deep-sea Cyclops! Let's beat them up!
Watch out, everyone! They're coming at us again!
There's no need to fear! Prince Thelxie looks stronger than ever today! He must be going all out!
Ship on up! Let the magic begin! Shadow Raven, let night...
As a dutiful maid would. I'll catch up.
Oh, this is the final enemy, right? We'll reclaim the crown for you now, Your Highness!
Commencing cleanup! Get in gear! Hey! Get in gear!
Leave it all to me.
Scatter! Germinate!
Ship on up! Cue the spotlight!
Midnight Phantasmical? Frost is coming! Dead reckoning! Hey!
I'm sorry. I have to go. I made a promise to my friends, and I'm already very late.
But, Madame, you're still...
Don't try to stop me! Today's the most important day for treating Thelxie. We'll use the guidance method. Didn't you also say that you'd think it'd work?
I'm not trying to stop you, Madame. It's just... Could you tell me the name of your child?
Dr. Jalacan, how can you forget the name of your own patient? His name is Thelxie. He's the prince of the kingdom of water imps. We will go today to reclaim his crown and attend his coronation ceremony.
I see. Madame, please rest assured, everything is still on schedule. Your friends have already departed to find... Wait, look. They've already returned.
Zuria! Zuria! We've retrieved the crown!
Paimon, everyone, have you really?
Yes, but the coronation ceremony still hasn't taken place, because we felt like you should be the one to preside over it.
Wonderful! How wonderful! Thelxie, my child, are you hearing this? Everything you lost will now come back to you, and soon, very soon, you will never be lonely again.
And the last page of the picture book. It's still waiting for you to illustrate in color.
Right, the picture book. But I don't know what I should put on the last page.
Don't worry, Thelxie and his friends all know what should go on it. Get ready, Zuria. We'll describe everything for you.
Okay.
At last, Thelxie and his friends were able to drive off the final invading monsters and achieve a dashing victory. Their success was complete, and the
The water imps, finally returning to their homes, showered the prince with love and applause as he greeted them. They once again offered their precious shells to the prince and reconstructed the rainbow bridge of old. As he watched the scene unfold, the prince could not help but be touched by its beauty.
Moved by everyone's happiness, the prince stepped onto the rainbow bridge and took a good look at all the friends who had gone on the journey with him. There stood the traveler, Goddess Paimon, Fremine, and... Where's the last person? The prince looked frantically around, but could not find the person he wanted to see most. At that moment, the person suddenly appeared on the other side of the bridge. She walked towards him with a smile. and slowly lifted her veil.
The prince could not hold back his tears. He recognized then that the mysterious person that had been by his side the whole time was none other than his mother. Surya walked across the bridge and placed the crown above the prince's head. She smiled down upon him as she said, "My prince, my king, you shall never, ever need to feel lonely again."
That's the end of the story, Zarya.
Thank you. Thank you all. I am so sorry, my child. Maman should have spent more time with you. Did you hear the story? You'll never have to feel lonely again. Maman loves you too.
What's happening? Is Zarya talking to Thelxie?
Quick, put on my diving helmet. There's a transcription module in it that's compatible with Thelxie's output signals. You should be able to use it to understand what Thelxie's saying.
Maman loves you too.
But I love you more, Maman.
What? Did you see something?
Maman, I'm getting a little sleepy. If it's time for bed, can you hum a lullaby to me again?
Of course, my dearest child. As long as you want to hear it, Mama will always hum for you.
Thank you, Maman. Your lullaby has always been my favorite. Now that I've heard it, I can return to my dream and to the kingdom of water imps in peace.
My poor darling. Please don't forget. I will always love you. My love is greater than the entire distance between...
I won't forget, Maman. And so is my love for you. Greater than the entire distance between here and the kingdom of water imps. Good night, Maman.
Traveler, Paimon, you're here.
Fremine! Why did you call us in such a hurry? Did you hear something from Zarya? Oh, if it's not good news, Paimon doesn't want to hear it!
Don't worry, it's definitely great news. The Madame came here for a visit just now with her doctor. Color has returned to her cheeks, and she sounded full of energy as well. She said she'd like to return to the court to continue hosting the art exhibit. But this time, she'll work with her doctor to exhibit some picture books related to the illness. Of course, Thelxie's fantastic adventures and the guidance therapy will be included in the exhibit as well. She'd like to use her experience to help others.
That's wonderful! So it wasn't bad news after all.
Here, please take this picture book with you. The Madame wanted you to have it. If at some point in the future you were to run into someone with similar troubles, She hopes the book would be of use to you.
But this is her son's story, right? Is it really okay to give the book to us?
Don't worry, it's just a copy. She still has the original. It's extremely important to her.
Alright, then there's no problem. It feels good knowing we've contributed to something important. Paimon definitely didn't expect the fantasy adventure to be so useful. Paimon was a little worried about how everything would turn out. After all, fantasy is just fantasy.
Paimon, do you know what the Madame said? She said that at the moment when she placed the crown on Thelxie's head, she felt like she really saw something beautiful. Her child had returned, and he told her that he loved her. She also said that was when she was finally able to bid farewell to her son. She felt like at that moment, she was healed by some mystical power, and she was filled with courage from head to toe.
Oh, really? But could that just be another part of her fantasy?
Perhaps. But if fantasy is just fantasy, and the fantasy world is not real, then how could it still grant us these powers that we can continue to use in the real world?
But what else could it be?
A descent of the fairy tale world into the real world. At that time, the wondrous fairy tale temporarily became reality and influenced real things in our world. That has to be what happened. You saw it too, didn't you?
What? That can't be what happened, right? There's just no way. Wouldn't it be like a miracle if that really happened?
Yes, I suppose that would be a miracle. I hope that everyone who's found themselves in a dark place would be able to see something beautiful and experience a miracle for themselves.